Here first.
Yeah, this is where I learned to paddle. If we didn't have, this is about 30 minutes away from my house. If I didn't have this available, I probably would never have become a kayaker. It's just, you know, it's like he was saying, it's an hour, 2-hour drive to the closest river. So it's, I mean, you know, it's, you don't have, most people don't have time to do that, especially when you're learning. So it's great to have a place like here that's got, you know, class 2, 3, and 4 rapids where you can learn and everything.
Yeah, I definitely would not. I would not have gotten into kayaking if it was not for, you know, for having the Whitewater Center here. It's a safe place. There's no undercut rocks. There's no, you know, no big dangers. I mean, the worst thing you can do is kind of bump your helmet on the bottom. So it's a safe environment to learn in. I definitely would not have I think most people here would not have become kayakers. They wouldn't have learned without this center here.
Was it just the fact that the center was here? And
yeah, that's what got me into it. And a bunch of people, and then I made a lot of friends. You know, kayakers are all real friendly people, so I made a bunch of friends here and got to know people like Adam. And, you get paddling together, and then they take you to rivers, and it's just a great thing for the sport. And it's great for Charlotte. I mean, it draws people into Charlotte. You got mountain bike trails, you got whitewater kayaking, you got rafting. You have climbing. I mean, it's awesome having this center. I mean, I was just thinking about this the other day, how it seems ridiculous there's not more of these centers everywhere in other cities, because it's terrific.
I think this is a good example for people to start realizing that there's so much more to do. Because I heard that they built the water first, and then they started to add on the mountain biking trails.
Well, actually, the mountain bike trails are already out here.
Oh, they were? Okay.
Several years ago, I helped kind of cut some of them, but then they redid them when they built the center, and they kept in mind of where the trails were and tried not to have any construction on that part of it. But yeah, it was just a perfect piece of land for them.
Were you part of the group, the volunteer group, that kind of helped organize some of it?
On the mountain bike trails?
Well, just in general. Yeah. I know that there was a big push from the citizens.
I was. It was called the Tar Heel Trailblazers. Yeah, and I'm a member of that group, and we cut these trails years and years ago. And it was kind of funny because when the center came here, we were like, well, wait a minute. We built these trails, now we got to pay to ride them, but
you don't, right? You can come in.
No, we still have to pay parking.
Parking, okay.
Yeah.
But you can buy a parking pass for like $40.
Yep. And that's what everybody does. They buy the parking pass.
Yeah.
And then the yearly pass out here is really reasonable. It's $160 a year, and you can use the water at any of the facilities.
Yeah. Cheaper than a gym membership, obviously.
Yep.
You can do everything out here for that. I mean, that's compared to what the daily price for that would be. It's a great deal. Plus, one of the coolest things about learning to kayak here is you don't have to worry about getting a shuttle to go back up to the top. They've got a conveyor belt that just, it's in a circular pattern, so it just pulls you back up to the top, and you can go as many times as you want. So it comes in really handy.
How long have you been kayaking for?
I've been up here for probably not that long, maybe 3.5, 4 months or so, and I've been kind of coming up here about 2 or 3 times a week, as much as I can, and I've made pretty good progress for the summer. I can do most of the channel usually. I'm getting my roll down, so it's definitely a great place to learn, and it's like he was saying, it's safe, and there's everybody out here, so there's no danger. It's just a great place to learn, and just come up here as often as you want. It's only 30 minutes away.
Awesome. So, and what's your name again? Where are you
Adam
from?
Taylor, and I'm from Charlotte, right down here, about 25 minutes away from here.
Awesome. You're very fortunate.
Oh yeah, I am. Like he was saying, there should be hundreds of these all over the country. It's amazing that there isn't. There really should be.
Hopefully there will be.
Hopefully.
And so you teach some of the roll sessions and take people down?
Roll sessions if people just need guidance, if people just want to learn different strokes, move stroke, bow draw, all these things that no one really thinks about. We can do that. We also have people that come here and say, oh, we want a kayak, and they sign up and they've never been in one. So we flip them over, do our sampler package, flip them over, flip them back, see if they're comfortable in the water, paddle them around the lake, show them the draw stroke and the sweep stroke, and then we take them down our instructional channel, which is the 3rd channel, smallest channel, get them a little whitewater experience, and then see if they want to come back after that for the roll clinic.
And how many do you think they get hooked? I was really nervous the first time I got on the whitewater. That took me 3 months to get back on it.
Yes, this environment provides a more comfortable environment, especially for beginners. And I think we have a lot more that come back just for that, especially since it's near the city, and it just feels like a giant fun swimming pool. We definitely have a lot more return customers than someone that would go to drive out 2-hour shuttle to a natural river where the water is not always the same, it's cold. It definitely helps beginners, which is good because it feeds more people into our sport. And we also get, some of the best kayakers around the world because we are the biggest one in the U.S.
There was there was something that happened a month ago too.
Olympic time trials.
Okay.
We just had a hometown throwdown that I lost. It's a bunch of play boating. Oh no, it was awesome. I knew I was going to lose. I'm not that good at play boating, but I'm learning.
Yeah.
Learning a lot about it. We do events every week. We just had Piranha come out and we just had Liquid Logic come. No, Jackson. The Jacksons came 3 weeks ago with their boats, kind of played around with us, which was awesome. So we get a lot of sponsorship just through, this is a great way for companies to show their boats to a large volume of people that we have. I firmly believe that every major city in America should have one of these. It just makes sense. There's enough money in the cities, and it's exactly opposite of everything you get to do in your daily routine. I teach a class from 6 to 8 on Thursdays. It's me and 4 to 6 guys that work in uptown Charlotte from 9 to 5, and they say they look forward to it every week. They run to their cars, they sprint out here, and they kayak with me for 2.5 hours if we can keep the water on long enough. It's great. I firmly believe in it. But yeah.
I live in the desert, so we're having a little trouble with
the water. Is it a water problem? It's all well fed. I don't know how many wells.
Well, we have a river, Rio Grande River. I think it's just people aren't used to going to the river. Like even in my city, it's a large river, but people don't go to it. So we're trying to draw people in.
It's good.
Creating better access.
Advertising access points.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
Get ACA will help you. I think they definitely have grants for access points to rivers. Or AWA, either of those. They'll help with access points, but you can get enough people behind it. Build one of these, it makes a lot of money, believe me.
So it does. So
it does, if it's run the right way. It's an intricate business plan because this was the first of its kind in the U.S. So the first 2 years they were kind of finding their balance, but they found a way now that we do just fine here.
What do you think makes the most money?
Rafting. Rafting's key.
Probably
you have to have rafts. I know hard boaters hate rafting, but you have to have rafts because the rafting is what, if you want to do a pan around, the rafting is what funds those. It's $55 a person. You can get up to 7 people every 2 hours in it. They're what makes those pumps run. They're what pays the energy bill. So definitely rafting, flatwater kayaking, everything here now. Really, it's not like what makes the most money now because we did a amusement park business plan. It used to be departmentalized. If you came, you wanted to kayak, you would just pay for kayaking. Well, still kayaking, you have to pay extra because it's very skilled. You have to pay the instructors, like blah blah. But everything else, rafting. You want to do flatwater kayaking. You want to do that ropes course up there. You want to do that zip line way over in the back. You pay $55 all sport pass that I think you got today. You could literally raft all day for $55, which is an unparalleled deal in America. So now that they've made an amusement theme park kind of business plan, it works. You just pay once at the door. And then if you want to pay for very skilled things like rodeo rafts is a 3-year guide, very skilled. It's a lot of swimming, a lot of bruises, a lot of bleeding. Yeah, it's actually the only accident. It's actually the only accident, knock on wood, that I've had here thus far. And then kayak construction, of course, is a lot more because it's just it's so much more intricate than just getting on with one of us raft guides too. But hi everyone in the meeting. I highly recommend getting a Whitewater Center. Believe me, if I win
Mexico, is that the place to get it?
Albuquerque, Mexico sounds like a perfect place to get one. Like actually, seriously, make the pond deep so the water stays cool throughout the summer. Because believe me, at the end our pond's a little shallow, and at the end of the summer it's like paddling in bathwater. But I highly recommend it. Definitely build it within city reaches. There's one in Maryland that's not. It's in Oakland, Maryland. It's in a resort. It's not doing quite as well as ours, just for the sheer volume of people we get. We're like one exit off of I-85 and 2 exits off I-77. So build it at a major crossroads, build it right outside the city, and it'll do fine.
Good advice. All right, so what we